In a grand mansion, once echoing with laughter, a young man found himself alone after a tragic accident claimed his parents. His once vibrant home turned silent, and his attempts to manage the household were comically disastrous. From burnt dinners to laundry mishaps, he was on the brink of giving up. Then, on a fateful night, a stunning maid with captivating purple eyes appeared at his doorstep, offering her services. But there was something different about her. Why would such a skilled maid want to work in a now diminishing mansion without asking for pay? Her every move held a secret, and her eyes, they pulled him into a world of enchantment. One day, half in jest, he accused her of being a witch, given her unparalleled skills. To his astonishment, she played along, hinting that, just maybe, there was a touch of magic in her. Was she truly a sorceress, or was it all in good fun? The mansion's walls held the answer, and the story just began. In the heart of the mansion, the story unfolds further. The young master, Yori, becomes increasingly convinced that the maid is using magic on him. He recalls instances where he saw her reading what he believed to be a magic book and chanting spells. Her sparkling eyes and the way they made his heart race only fueled his suspicions. One day, in a playful mood, the maid teased Yori by suggesting she had added a love potion to his food. This revelation, though made in jest, made Yori believe it was the reason behind his growing affection for her. He even dreamt of her as a witch, further deepening his mistrust. Yet, despite his doubts, he could not deny the comfort and joy her presence brought to his life. In a twist, Yori discovers the maid's name, Lilith. The name, laden with mystery, only adds to his intrigue. Their interactions are a dance of teasing and genuine moments. Lilith showers Yori with gifts, from new clothes to the latest game console, leading him to believe she is trying to win him over or tame him with these gestures. In a bold declaration, Yori proclaims it is he who will make Lilith his. As days go by, Yori is often found engrossed in his studies, but Lilith, ever eager to be of service, frequently interrupts him, offering pastries, tea, and even help with his lessons. Yori's frustration peaks when he feels she is becoming a distraction, leading to a heated exchange between the two. Yet beneath the surface of their playful banter and Yori's suspicions, a deeper bond is forming. The question remains, will Yori ever truly trust Lilith, or will the mysteries surrounding her keep them apart? Yori's suspicion of Lilith's every move continues. One day he spots her in the backyard thinking she is up to some mischief. To his surprise, she is merely playing with a stray cat. Lilith, sensing an opportunity to tease Yori, suggests he is more interested in her than the cat. Yori, flustered, admits his fear of cats. Lilith offers to help him overcome it, leading to a heartwarming scene where Yori bonds with the feline. Later, Yori's curiosity about Lilith's exceptional cooking skills leads them to the kitchen. As they cook together, Yori realizes that even with Lilith's guidance, his dish does not taste the same. Lilith playfully reveals that her secret ingredient is the love she has for him. This revelation leaves Yori in awe of Lilith's unwavering affection and dedication. One evening, Lilith discovers a drawing by Yori of morning glories, with a note mentioning their resemblance to her eyes. This discovery deepens the bond between them, with Lilith sneaking into Yori's room to watch him sleep, a ritual she has grown fond of. As Yori prepares for school, Lilith fusses over him, ensuring he is perfectly presentable. Their interaction resembles that of a married couple, a comparison Yori playfully makes, leaving Lilith flustered. At school, a girl named Tsukasa, who has fond memories of Yori, spots him with Lilith. Misinterpreting their relationship, Tsukasa becomes convinced they are in a secret romance. Her excitement grows when she overhears their conversation, further fueling her imagination. However, a twist emerges when it is revealed that Lilith and Tsukasa's butler, Fujisaki, know each other. The connection between them remains a mystery, adding another layer to the unfolding narrative. One day, Yori returns to an empty mansion, with Lilith nowhere to be found. Initially, he relishes the solitude, indulging in his favorite pastimes. However, as hours pass and night falls, Yori's worry for Lilith's whereabouts intensifies. His concern is palpable, and he realizes the depth of his attachment to her. Lilith, who had ventured to a distant town to procure special ingredients for Yori's dinner, returns late due to unforeseen delays. Their reunion is emotional, with Yori accusing her of casting a spell that makes him feel lonely in her absence. He pleads with her never to leave him uninformed again. Despite their growing bond, Yori's suspicions of Lilith never truly fade. He constantly watches her, trying to decipher her every move, Lilith, in her earnest desire to be closer to Yori and win his trust, starts following him around the mansion. This leads to a series of comedic chases, culminating in a moment where Lilith trips and falls onto Yori. In the aftermath, Yori admits he could watch her forever, further highlighting their complex relationship. Seeking to bridge the gap between them, Lilith invites Yori to play chess, a game his late father taught him. As they play, Yori reminisces about his parents, revealing a vulnerable side. Lilith, moved by his memories, assures him of her constant companionship. However, a shift occurs when Yori returns from school one day, unusually quiet and distant. Lilith, trying to lift his spirits, prepares his favorite pudding. But to her surprise, Yori's reaction is subdued, devoid of his usual playful accusations. This change in behavior leaves Lilith bewildered and anxious, wondering if Yori's feelings towards her have changed. Yori, in a mix of hope and anxiety, hands Lilith a paper about an open house day at his school where parents and guardians are invited. He hesitantly expresses his wish for her to attend. Lilith, eager to fit in and not draw attention in her maid attire, borrows clothes from Fujisaki to wear something more appropriate. Yori's joy upon seeing her at the event is palpable. In preparation for the upcoming sports day, Yori practices fervently in the mansion's halls. Lilith, ever supportive, cheers him on and even devises a special training plan for him. Their bond deepens as they spend time together, with Yori playfully accusing her of using magic during a massage session, and Lilith blushing at his words. On the day of the sports event, Yori faces challenges not just in the games, but also from his peers who mock him. However, his determination, fueled by Lilith's support and Tsukasa's encouragement, sees him through. Tsukasa, observing the bond between Yori and Lilith, becomes even more supportive of Yori. The day is filled with victories, camaraderie, and shared meals, with Yori expressing his gratitude for all Lilith does for him. However, a moment of introspection occurs when Lilith learns of an obstacle race for parents and guardians. Memories of her own parents, particularly her athletic mother, flood back, adding a layer of depth to her character. After Lilith's triumphant win in the obstacle race, Yori's defense of her against other children's taunts solidifies their bond. He declares her as family, moving Lilith deeply. Their relationship is filled with playful banter, with Lilith often teasing Yori, making herself sound mysterious and suspicious. This dynamic is evident when she returns home drenched from the rain, and Yori, concerned for her health, insists she take a bath. Lilith playfully invites him to join her, leaving Yori flustered. However, the mood shifts when Lilith falls ill. Yori's genuine concern for her well-being is evident as he tends to her. Lilith's fear of being replaced due to her illness highlights her deep attachment to Yori, but Yori reassures her, emphasizing that no one could ever replace her. The bond between them strengthens as they share household chores, with Yori expressing his desire to spend more time with Lilith. Their relationship is filled with moments of understanding, care, and mutual support. The story then transitions to a festive atmosphere with preparations for Tsukasa's Halloween party. Yori chooses a sage costume, while Lilith dons a dragon outfit. Upon their arrival at Tsukasa's mansion, they are greeted with admiration, especially from Tsukasa, who romanticizes their bond. The party is a grand affair, with Tsukasa dressed as a hero and her butler, Fujisaki, transformed into a beautiful princess. The event is filled with joy, laughter, and memorable moments as they all celebrate together. Post the Halloween party, Yori's feelings for Lilith become more pronounced. He finds himself constantly thinking about her even during school hours. A particular photo of them together, taken during the party, serves as a poignant reminder of their bond. However, a sudden revelation from Lilith shakes Yori's world. She informs him that she has been summoned back to her original master, leaving Yori devastated. Their emotional exchange reveals the depth of their bond, with Lilith expressing her unwavering desire to stay with Yori. At school, Yori's preoccupation with Lilith does not go unnoticed. Tsukasa, ever observant, deduces that Yori is in love with Lilith. Yori, in his naivety, struggles to understand his feelings, even hypothesizing that he might be sick. Tsukasa, to help him, introduces Yori to her mother and offers him a collection of romantic books to better understand love. Yori's internal turmoil continues. He fears that Lilith might choose to serve in Tsukasa's affluent household, believing she would be happier there. However, Tsukasa reassures him, emphasizing the unique bond Yori and Lilith share. In a classroom assignment, Yori is tasked with creating a drawing that captures the true essence of someone. He chooses Lilith as his subject. Despite multiple attempts, Yori feels his drawings fail to capture Lilith's true beauty and essence. Lilith, ever supportive, tries to comfort him, but Yori remains restless, consumed by his thoughts of her. After a restful night, Yori wakes up to find Lilith by his side, singing a lullaby reminiscent of one his mother used to sing. This intimate moment strengthens their bond, with Yori realizing the depth of his feelings for Lilith. As days pass, Yori's dedication to capturing Lilith's essence in a drawing becomes evident. With Lilith's support, he finally completes a masterpiece that not only wins him accolades at school, but also highlights his profound admiration for her. However, a twist emerges when Yori has a dream of a mysterious girl with purple hair, eerily like Lilith. Upon waking, he is greeted by Lilith, further blurring the lines between dream and reality. As Lilith prepares for her day off, Yori's insecurities surface. He is taken aback by her stunning appearance in a maroon dress, leading him to wonder if she is dressing up for a date. Despite granting her the day off, Yori's curiosity gets the better of him, and he secretly follows her. Lilith's day unfolds with a visit to a bakery, where she purchases Yori's favorite treats and a heartwarming encounter with children that reminds her of her bond with Yori. The climax of her day is a meeting with Fujisaki at a cafe. Their conversation reveals their shared past as students at a maid school, with Fujisaki undergoing a transformation from a notorious student to a dedicated caretaker for Tsukasa. The two maids discuss their bonds with their respective masters, with Lilith expressing her anxieties about her relationship with Yori. Yori's covert observation of Lilith's meeting leads to a revelation. He recalls a childhood memory of a girl his parents brought home and confronts Lilith, asking if she was that girl. Lilith's affirmation brings forth a flood of emotions, with Yori expressing his frustration over her secrecy. The two share a heartfelt moment in the garden, where Yori presents Lilith with a flower ring, reminiscent of their shared past. However, just as their relationship seems to be reaching new heights, an unexpected figure, an orange-haired maid, appears, urging Lilith to return to her previous mansion. Upon Natsume's sudden appearance at the mansion, Yori and Lilith find themselves in a predicament. Natsume, a former classmate of Lilith's from Maid School and a worker from the mansion where Lilith previously served, insists on Lilith's return. She argues that Lilith's talents are wasted on a childlike Yori, who cannot compensate her adequately. Yori, however, passionately defends his claim over Lilith, revealing the depth of his feelings for her. Despite Natsume's persistent efforts, Lilith remains resolute in her decision to stay with Yori. Natsume's skepticism about Yori's capabilities as a master leads her to test him. She quizzes him on various subjects, including the theory of relativity. Yori, in his innocence, highlights his piggy bank, filled with savings intended for a future gift for Lilith. This gesture deeply moves Natsume, though she remains wary, suggesting that Lilith might be manipulated by Yori's words. A series of comedic and heartfelt events ensue. Yori's candid confession of his love for Lilith leaves both Lilith and Natsume flustered. Natsume, reflecting on her past, realizes her inability to express her feelings as bravely as Yori did. A memorable scene unfolds when Natsume, to prove her maid skills, ends up drenching both herself and Lilith. This leads to a heart-to-heart conversation between the two maids during a shared bath. Lilith expresses her gratitude for Natsume's presence, which has inadvertently strengthened Yori's trust in her. Natsume, on the other hand, begins to understand the unique bond between Yori and Lilith. The chapter concludes with Lilith discovering a magazine in Natsume's room, hinting at a potential special someone in Natsume's life. Lilith's amusement at this discovery highlights the deepening camaraderie between the two maids. As Christmas approaches, the mansion is abuzz with excitement. Natsume, eager to surprise Lilith, proposes a Christmas party. Yori, always supportive of Lilith, is on board with the idea. However, to keep the surprise intact, Yori informs Lilith that he would be attending a Christmas party at Tsukasa's mansion, leaving Lilith slightly disappointed. Natsume and Lilith plan to celebrate Christmas together outside the mansion. However, unbeknownst to Lilith, preparations for the surprise party are in full swing at the mansion. Tsukasa and Fujisaki arrive to help with the decorations and food. While Tsukasa is busy capturing moments with her camera, Fujisaki and Yori bond in the kitchen, leading to some heartwarming interactions. As Yori and Fujisaki prepare the meals, they share a moment of camaraderie, with Yori expressing his admiration for the close bond between Tsukasa and Fujisaki. This leads to Fujisaki reminiscing about how her life changed after meeting Tsukasa. Outside, Natsume, in her attempt to distract Lilith, ends up injuring herself. The two share a heartfelt conversation, with Lilith expressing her gratitude for Natsume's company. The misunderstanding between them is cleared up, leading to a deeper bond. Back at the mansion, as the preparations near completion, Yori catches Lilith working on a crocheted scarf intended for him. The two share a tender moment, with Yori expressing his gratitude for Lilith's thoughtful gesture. On Christmas Day, as Lilith and Natsume are about to leave the mansion, Yori reassures Lilith about his plans. The surprise party preparations go off without a hitch, with Tsukasa and Fujisaki playing pivotal roles. The atmosphere is festive, with laughter, joy, and the spirit of Christmas filling the air. However, as the day progresses, the anticipation builds. Will Lilith discover the surprise awaiting her? How will she react to the heartfelt efforts of Yori, Natsume, and the others? After the Christmas celebrations, the mansion returns to its usual calm. However, an unexpected visit from Lilith's previous master adds a twist to the narrative. As Lilith prepares tea for her old master, they engage in a heart-to-heart conversation. The old master inquiries about Lilith's life in the mansion, and she sincerely apologizes for leaving him and his household. She recounts her past, explaining how Yori's parents took her in after her own parents' demise, giving her hope and a sense of belonging. Her decision to enroll in a boarding maid school was driven by her desire to give back to Yori's parents. However, upon their tragic passing, she felt a deep connection with Yori, seeing her younger self in him. The old master, moved by Lilith's story, expresses understanding and appreciation for her choices. Their conversation is interrupted by Yori and Natsume's return. Natsume, upon seeing her master, blushes, revealing a deeper connection between them. The old master assures Yori that he has no intention of taking Lilith away and expresses gratitude for her care of Natsume. As they bid farewell, the old master asks Yori to take good care of Lilith, highlighting the deep bond they share. The atmosphere in the mansion becomes slightly awkward after Natsume's prolonged stay. However, Lilith and Yori find solace in each other's company. In a heartwarming gesture, Lilith invites Yori on a date. As they stroll together, Yori compliments Lilith's dress, leaving her flustered. They decide to warm up with hot cocoa at a cafe, where they engage in deep conversations. Yori, lost in Lilith's beauty and grace, realizes the depth of his feelings for her. Yori musters the courage to visit a place he has been avoiding for a long time, the graves of his parents. He had been hesitant to visit them alone, but with Lilith by his side, he felt a renewed strength. Introducing Lilith to his parents, he expressed his gratitude for the love and care they provided him. Lilith, in a touching gesture, softly spoke to the graves, assuring Yori's parents that she would always be there to take care of him. As they left the cemetery, the city's central block was illuminated with dazzling lights, casting a magical glow against the dark sky. The impending snowfall added to the enchanting atmosphere. Yori, captivated by Lilith's beauty amidst the lights, could not help but stare at her. Noticing his gaze, Lilith felt flustered and asked him the reason for his intense stare. Yori, lost in the moment, confessed his feelings, telling her how beautiful she looked and expressing his love for her. Every moment they spent together brought him immense happiness. Lilith, taken aback by his sudden confession, blushed deeply. She inquired about the nature of his love, expressing her uncertainty about reciprocating his feelings immediately. However, she reassured him that as he navigated his emotions and understood the depth of his love, she would always be by his side. The two made a heartfelt promise to continue loving and supporting each other. The story concludes with the two of them heading home, hand in hand, as the first snowflakes began to fall, symbolizing the purity and depth of their bond.